add products. And you can actually search for existing products. You can add a single product. We do recommend products. Sometimes if you have like an owning brand and we have another offer on it, or a third-party seller has offered it, we'll try to suggest products that you can add an offer to. Otherwise, we'll go, this is going to be the most common one, is going to be add multiple products with a spreadsheet. And again, here you can still go through and add a single product. This is a really manual step to add single products. So if you're adding, even one product, I think it's easier to add with the spreadsheet. But you can, 2 or more, definitely easier with the spreadsheet. So add all products. Category, you can select either all or BIS, either one. And then you'll have templates for all of this. So there are a lot of templates. Feel free, if you have products in another category that you think is a better fit for your product, that is fine, but all of you should be signed up as lab vendors, so working across like laboratory products. And we have the lab supplies new item setup. So this is the one that we're going to be covering today. It's probably one of the easier templates to fill out. And then if you have any questions about this, you can always just let us know. I'm also going to go through the template. So you'll download the template. We ask that to make sure that there aren't any errors, when you download the template, to save that file exactly with the same name, and then once you're done filling it out, you're going to upload that same template with the same name. This helps us identify which template was used, and then it'll have a number code attached to it so that we can link that back with the file that you had downloaded. And then I've pre-downloaded one, so I've already got this open. And then I'll walk through. This is the 2016 US BIS Lab Supplies New Item Setup Template. And then I'll just walk through kind of what the required fields are, and then the optional fields that are really good to have that we recommend. It's definitely not a requirement, but it is recommended. So all of the orange fields are required, and then green are optional. So vendor code is going to be required. As you log into Vendor Central, when you download this template, your vendor, you can click this drop down menu. Your vendor code and your vendor name is going to come up here. So whatever your vendor name is already going to be populated here. And then external ID, you'll either do yes or no. And this just refers to a standard UPC, EAN, G10, or you can do the 8-digit UPC-E. So right now, these are the only ones that we have available as external ID types. So for our fulfillment centers at Amazon, our receiving process, where we scan products in to be received into our fulfillment network, this is where we scan one of these barcodes. And so we can accept any one of these 4 barcodes to scan, or if you don't have one of these available, you can click no here. This is going to be an exception process, and then you can leave this blank. So you'll leave the external ID type and the external ID blank. And then for that, we do require a scannable barcode on each product, but you can label it with the ASIN. We call it an ASIN. It's an Amazon specific identification number, and that can be labeled on each product, and we're going to create those ASIN numbers through this process. So once you submit this template back, for each one of these products, you'll get an ASIN assigned to it. And you can use that instead of the external ID type. Brand name, this is an optional field, but very much recommended. So as you go through, you'll have a drop-down menu of brands that are within your vendor code, If you don't see something here, you can type it in, and you can type it in here under new brand name. So this is really only if you didn't find your brand in the brand name column, you can type it in under the column labeled new brand name. And then item name, we have some specifications for item name. It's typically it has to be under 150 characters. And then we use the following structure where we start it with brand name, part number, so you are going to use the manufactured part number or model number, and then a key description. And then after the key description, if you're selling it in, you know, a pack of 100 or a pack of 50, we want to include this as well. And that would be just to indicate to the customer how many units they're going to be getting with the sellable unit. So if they order one of something, this is going to tell them how many units they're actually going to be receiving upon order. This is optional to link to the main image, so you can put in, if you have an image located, you can put in the URL here. This can also be added after the ASIN has been created, so not necessary here. We do have standard size requirements for images, and all images have to be 500 megapixels. And this is just for if you go to Amazon and shop, where we have the image, it usually lives in like the top left corner here of the detail page. And then if you click on it or hover over it, we do like a enlarged version of the image, so that customers can kind of really see what they're ordering and read any kind of writing that's on a package or things like that. So it's just for the customer to get a really good quality photo of the product where it can be enlarged on their screen. Are there any questions so far? Am I going too fast, too slow?
Good.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Vendor SKU, so we have vendor SKU and part number. So part number is going to be the manufactured part number or model number of the product, and that's going to be a unique number for each product. So this can also be the same as the vendor SKU. The vendor SKU is really if you identify your parts by a different SKU that you use in your ordering system, this is where we would want it here. So this is going to be how we're going to do the purchase order from you. So it'll be done at the vendor SKU, and that can be the same as the part number, but it has to be unique for each product. Same with part number. Part number also has to be unique for each product. So if you sell a product that is a single unit as well as a case pack, it has to have a separate part number. So you can have the same part number with like a -CS indicating that it's a case. But for our purposes, we need to have a unique number for each of these. Manufactured series number, this is optional, but this would be, you know, if you have a series of products that, you know, have different part numbers but same series, you would indicate it here. Number of items, this is going to be the total number of items that the customer receives, so the number of items in a sellable unit that we'll sell. And so there's like an example here. If Amazon's sellable unit is the case with 8 boxes containing 20 packaged wipes, then the number of items is 160, so you're going to multiply that out. Unit count type, this is just, you know, an each or, you know, whatever the unit type count is. So if it's a test tube, if it's a light, if it's, you know, a piece of equipment, you can put that in here. Case pack quantity, this is going to be the number of Amazon sellable units that are in a case. So we'll place purchase orders in quantities of this. So if you have like a minimum order quantity for, say, on a product. We try to get this as low as possible, but we can accept, small case pack quantities if you sell it in a single unit, but it's packaged in 12 in a box. We can put 12 on there. We would buy 12 units and then sell them out as eaches. Does everybody understand that? That one can get confusing.
That makes sense.
Okay. Product category. Right now we only have the 3 categories, so chemistry and life sciences, lab equipment and instruments, labware, consumables, and furniture. If you really can't find the right product category, that's okay. The simplest one is probably lab equipment and instruments, and you can just put in equipment. That we use it sometimes as like a catch-all for things that don't quite fit into one of the other subcategories. If you want to look at some of the other subcategories, so these are the subcategories for lab instruments and equipment, but you can go through here and do labware, consumables, and furniture, and then find other subcategories here. Labware and consumables is also kind of a basic catch-all between equipment or labware and consumables. That's going to be your basic ones. And then if you don't think that your products really belong in either one of those, you can go ahead and submit it there and then send us an email, let us know, and we can also browse it to make sure that we're browsing it into the right node within Amazon. No matter how your products are set up, they're always going to be searchable. They'll always be searchable in the all category, so across all categories within Amazon.com. It'll be searchable, and then it'll also be searchable always within industrial and scientific. So within the industrial and scientific area, it will be searchable as well. If you want it to live somewhere else, you'll just send us a note. You can either do it through Contact Us or through email to myself or Jerry, and we can get it cross-browsed into another area within Amazon as well. Item type keyword, that's again kind of where the browse node structure is going to live. So you have within centrifuges, there's still several different options here, so you can kind of get more specific in that product. If you want to go to equipment, which is going to be more of a catch-all, there's going to be different types of equipment, a lot of different meters, monitors, pumps, things like that. So another catch-all would just be the lab equipment. Cost price. This is going to be the cost to Amazon of the sellable unit. So make sure that even if you have a case and you're selling us a case, that this is entered in at the sellable unit. So you're selling us a case. If we're selling the case to the end customer, that would be the sellable unit. If we're going to break that down and sell it as an each, then that's going to be an each cost. And just to let you know, the cost price is what you'll invoice us for. So we'll cut a purchase order for this cost. You will invoice us for that cost, and then the co-op agreements, co-op freight and damage agreements that we've all signed, that's going to come off after the invoice. So it'll be deducted from the invoice cost. So this is going to be the cost before those deductions. The MSRP is going to be your suggested retail price. This is going to be the list price on Amazon. We will not price above this list price. So this is going to be our ceiling of how we're going to price the product. We would like to, most of the time, Amazon prices between the list price and the cost price, but we do have automated pricing systems, so we don't guarantee a set price, other than that it will be somewhere in between that. We're not looking to lose money on products, so we definitely want to make sure that we're priced above the cost, And then we also want to be fair to our customers and not price above what your suggested list price is for that product. And then we have